Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Notary Insights Live with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. The show will be starting shortly. Thank you for your patience.
As a part-time traveling notary with a full-time job, balancing everything can be tough, especially when you're getting calls at all hours. That's where Sabrina AI comes in. Think of Sabrina as your personal assistant who answers every call, handles appointment bookings, provides quick answers to common questions, and filters out non-urgent inquiries. Sabrina works 24/7 so you never miss a client opportunity, even when you're tied up with your full-time job. With this system, you can keep things running smoothly without the stress.
This video is brought to you by Sabrina, the AI voice automation that turns calls into clients. As a business owner, you're juggling a lot, and managing phone calls can quickly become overwhelming. That's where Sabrina comes in. Imagine having a reliable 24/7 assistant that never misses a call, handles routine questions, schedules appointments, and directs important calls to the right people, all without needing a human touch. This frees up your team's time to focus on what really matters, saves you money, and ensures every customer gets a consistent professional experience. It's like having an extra set of hands so you can focus on growing your business, not just managing calls. Scan the QR code to book your free demo today.
Peace, peace, peace. Your mic is off. No audio. No audio. Oh, you're on mute.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a bit of a delay on my end, but we should be good though. What's
Okay.
happening, fam?
What's buzzing, cousin? West Side.
You heard? West Side is the best side. That's what I heard, man. At least that's what they say over here in Chicago, man. West Side is the best side. But I'm a South Side Chicago cat right now, man. I don't know about that West Side. I love the West Side. Shout out to Crucial Conflict, my man Cole Hard. You know what I mean? But the South
Wow.
Side.
Crucial Conflict. Damn.
Oh yeah, that's a homie, man. Cole Hard.
Cole Hard.
Homie,
Kilo Cash. What's the other guy's name?
We've tore up quite a few parties together, man. Shout out to my brother Ben One, Big Dre, rest in peace, Chopper, Deidre. You know, I was in the music scene out here hard, bro. I was out here.
Yeah, they made it big, man. Those were guys. The whole cowboy thing was interesting to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. It was funny, man. I got invited to a R. Kelly party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were like, "Nah, I don't think we should bring Tiger to this R. Kelly party." I'd have been like this in the corner, yo. Hello, detective. Yeah, that nigga doing some funny shit up in that room, yo. That nigga need to come get this nigga.
That's right. He's from Chicago.
Yep. That's right, R. Kelly. I'd have snitched on your bitch ass.
Damn.
Give a fuck, nigga. I don't like stuff like that. That Diddy stuff, I'd be all over it. I'd be like Dave Chappelle. He was like, they probably wouldn't invite me to the party because I had snitch energy, bro. Yeah. No, I ain't playing them games, bro. You ain't doing that not on my watch, bro.
Yeah, you can't be doing that, man.
You know. How you feeling today, brother?
All good. Are we live right now?
Yeah, we live.
Oh, okay.
We live, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I want at some point. It's just me and Kimba hanging out right now. He over here Putin, but I want to throw in. Dang, that was a good one, baby. The
shout out to Kimba.
Yeah, big ups. He gonna help me evaluate some websites. The Pass the Trash. I'm gonna do something that's pretty relevant for people on the socials, because the whole website thing is interesting to me. I don't know if you get a lot of advertisements for notaries.
Okay.
A lot of Instagram advertisements, like the sponsored ads.
What kind of advertising? Like pushing what their services?
Yes. Visit our profile, or do you need a reliable notary? I can guarantee I can scroll down my timeline right now and I'll come across some. But here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you click on their, you know how the sponsored ads have those banners at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
When you click on them, here's the problem that I noticed, and this is a big problem. for example, if it says book now or available now, you go to the website or to their Instagram profile or wherever it takes you, and it never promises what they advertise.
Okay.
I'm thinking to myself, who's teaching these people how to run Instagram ads? Who taught you how to run Facebook or Instagram? Like, because you pay for that.
You definitely do.
So why would you send me to a dead link or to? It just doesn't make sense why you would put up a sponsor ad that you clearly pay for, and then there's nothing on the back end.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do a review and just ran. So I actually did this once. I've already done this before. I've done this a couple of times in the past. And
Well, check this out, bro. Look at this. We're queued for that.
Wow. Oh man, look at oh my god, man. Look at that.
Come on, B. Come on, man. This TW you talking to,
man,
B.
You don't play, man. You shout out to you, man.
You heard?
You do not play.
Come on, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a segment on the show, a new segment that Tech came up with. I thought it was great. It's called Pass or Trash, where Tech and I will review some websites live on the air, and we will comb it and see if it pass or trash. You know, so there, Tech, I would imagine you have a checklist of what you look for, right? And
yeah,
you know, and we, as you can see, the brother is like, what? Or he has the OMG, like, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So when you know better, you do better. So hopefully I know you guys will get value of this, because then you'll look back at your website and be like, wow, my website isn't optimized to funnel payments or funnel appointments, or there is friction between the starting point to the end point. So we're trying to remove all friction for the buyer experience, enabling the buyer to have a better experience and for you to get paid seamlessly. How do you like that? That was off the top of the dome, B.
Wow, man. I gotta bow down to you, man. I'm speechless right now.
Appreciate it, brother.
I'm speechless right now. I really don't have words. That's impressive.
No, you know what, bro? Like, I want to show people. Here's the thing, Tech. I want to show people how brothers like us, we can work together and it is smooth as pie. You know what I mean? Like partnering up doesn't have to be so rah. And there's times we challenge each other and we challenge the thoughts, and you're like, all right, how strong do you feel about this conviction and this thought? And that's good, because swords sharpen swords. But like, we're partners on many different businesses, and we've been doing this for quite some time, quite a few years now, and it's always been gravy. This is what Black partnerships look like. This is what Black excellence it looks like. So for those that are looking and be like, oh, I want to do everything my own, you don't have to do everything your own, dude. Tech does stuff that I ain't even touching. I'm not even exploring the touch. He's just mastered it. So if somebody is good at something, let them do what they do. Stop getting in their way. If they say, hey, this is how I'm gonna do it, be like, all right, that's you, bro. That's your lane. That's your avenue. And whatever strength that you bring to the table, run with it, man. Take it, own it, run with it hard. And then combine your energies, and then maybe you might have to bring other people into your organization. Maybe you have to bring in chat. Everybody should have ChatGPT in their organization at this point. Gemini, Claude, Poe, whatever AI system you're using, they should be a part of your team, period. And then, like, Tech came up with the idea. I thought it was fantastic. The I immediately started creating the design for it. It just came to me because that's what I'm good at. And now we brung it to life. It's here. Pass or trash is here.
The trash can kills me.
Yeah. Word.
Yeah, it's always interesting too because that's like I don't know what it looked like in my head. I always knew that the concept, I knew what I wanted to say and think that, and maybe how I wanted it to look, but like wow, this is an entirely different interpretation of it, and I love it. It's like wow, I'm speechless, man. Like wow, look, there it is, right there.
Oop, there it is.
Whoop, upside your head.
So, Tech, you already know what time it is, brother. Yes, indeed. It is notary trivia time, man. Notary trivia time. Damn, I didn't even sound my alarms today. Let me do that. Get my alarms going. Get the alarms going.
I might need some help today.
With what?
With answering the questions.
Oh, all right. I think you'll do great, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start off with the first. Matter of fact, hold on, man. Yes, I do. Hold on, Tech.
Yeah, let me study real quick.
What do you got to study? You don't even know the question.
Let me look at my notary handbook.
This is gonna be fun, man.
You know, right before you took a test in high school, you have to go. Let me review some pages real quick. Like that's gonna do something.
Oh, that's what you did?
Yeah.
I cheated on all my shit, bro.
What's your preferred method of cheating?
The one that works. The one I don't get caught with.
I've seen some clean ones, man. I've seen some issues. Like, you know, I have a graduate degree. You know, I went to grad school. I've seen some interesting methods of cheating, man. Like some high level cheating, man. I've seen the tape on the arm. I'm like up the sleeve.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that?
Done that before? No, I've done the tape with answers under my shoe. So when I cross my leg, and you know, all I have to do is look under my shoe.
That's amazing.
In elementary school, I used to have. You remember those the watches with the calculator on it?
Yes.
I used to use the calculator on my math test on my watch. Yeah. I was a habitual cheater, bro.
The cleanest one I've seen though was the notes, the inside the pins, the big pen, the clear pins. I'm trying to see if I have one on my desk, but you would have a pen, but it'd be clear, and then the notes would be inside of it. I've seen all kinds of them.
Ooh, that's smooth.
That's telling people, yeah, I'll man. What they say when you go to jail, you learn how to be a better criminal.
Yeah, I did. I think my most creative one was when I studied for the real estate exam. And I took the test initially, failed it miserably. And then they gave me the answer key the very next day. And I was like, word? I said, okay.
Oh.
So bro, I don't remember how I did it. I wrote it so small. At the time, my vision was like 40-40. Now I'm 40-20. But I wrote it so tiny that there's no way you could have seen it.
Yeah.
And then the next day I went and took the test. This is how you know you're gonna ace the test when you purposely get shit wrong on purpose. So you're like, I don't want to, I don't want to score 100 on them. I went from a 45 to 100 in 24 hours. I don't want to raise alarms like that. So, I scored like a 95.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was wonderful, bro.
so you hand wrote it. Wow, yeah. I've seen the typed ones. The handwriting that's next level, man. Because your hand was probably cramping.
Because I used to do I'm an artist, so I would do graffiti and stuff like that. So I use different types of pens before. You know what I'm saying? Like really, really thin, fine point, needle point pens. So I could write with them things like easily. Bro, you would need a magnifying glass to see the shit. Like it was that small.
Damn, you wrote the whole book on the notepad?
No, I just wrote the answer key.
Just
Because these geniuses gave me the same exact order, the same exact answer. I was like, oh, this is gonna be simple.
right.
All right, so you ready, bro?
Let's do it.
All right. All right. First question. True or false? A notary public can notarize their own signature.
Ooh, I know somebody has tried that before. I know there's somebody in probably Florida somewhere who's tried that before. But I'm gonna go with depends on the state you're in. That's people love that response. It depends on your laws. It depends on your notary laws. But I'm gonna say false, man. There's something called a conflict of interest. You can't notarize your own signature. My answer is gonna be false.
You say the answer's false, bro?
Something's telling me to say false.
Okay, the answer is false. It says, fact is, that's like refereeing your own game. Major conflict of interest. You was right, brother. You was right.
People love that word.
Next question. True or false? A notary seal must be photographically reproducible.
I'm gonna also say I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna guess, and I'm gonna say if you got the cheap ink, then you've learned your lesson. You got the smudge proof ink or the smudge proof rubber stamp, then you probably know this as well. But I'm gonna go true. I'm gonna say true.
The answer, you say true? Okay. The answer is true. Fact is, your seal, if your seal doesn't show up clearly in a photocopy, it is not compliant. That actually happened to me. I stamped it, and like sometimes the stamp didn't sit well on the paper. It kind of like left a bit of a angle to it, and I got called back to redo that notarization because it wasn't photocopy ready. Yeah. So, yep, you're right, bro. 2 for 2. You heard?
Yeah, that happens.
All right, let's see how you do on this one. True or false? A credible witness can be used when the signer has no ID.
Oh, that's a tough one. My answer, we always try to help people. We want them to eventually cross the finish line, and the finish line looks like them getting their paper signed. And if they don't have ID, which a lot of people don't have, a lot of people do not have an ID. It's not out of the ordinary, especially if you are of a certain age. Then you have to use somebody. You got to use something. A credible witness is probably the best thing to do. You can't use your library card, so let's go with true.
Said true. The survey says the answer is true. Man, you 3 for 3, bro. Fact is, in some states, yes, but make sure that you're following the state law to the letter. But yeah, you've done that many times in Cali, though, right?
All the time.
Yeah, because there's times that I've heard you on the phone and they either had an expired ID or their wallet got stolen and they needed something done. Gotta love this business, man. Last and final question. True or false? A notary public must read the document before notarizing it.
Oh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna give up something in this one. I'm gonna need my baby's help. What do you think? He says, "Oh, he just whispered something to me." He says, "It's false, Daddy. It's false." So I'm gonna go false because the last thing you want to know is everything. If somebody's selling half the state of Illinois and you don't agree with it, that's none of your business. So you don't want to know if they're doing something crazy and then you find out and then you don't. I'm just going to stay out of it. So my answer is going to be false.
So his answer is false. Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is false. Kimba, you were right, brother. You are not responsible for documents content, just the signing. Doesn't that make your life easier knowing that, ladies and gentlemen?
Makes you question.
I mean, I'm just saying, bro. Like, I know notaries out there that comb through documents, bro. Just like they're reading, and a lot of times it's the loan signing documents that they're combing through like that. Doesn't that feel great that you don't have to do that?
Sad, man.
Man, bro, this was the first one you knocked clean out the park, bro.
Yeah, I looked at the answers before time.
So,
grand prize talk about cheating.
Yeah, right. Grand prize goes to you, bro. Thank you for being a willing participant of the game. That's the best game show song I could find, bro.
I'll take it, man. I love music. If you're listening to this in your car, turn it up next time. Play that in your sound blasters.
Yeah, right. So we're gonna go into the main discussion studio right now. The main discussion studio. I created some slides. Today's show is about the notary side hustle, and I it's tongue in cheek when I use the word side hustle, but it's just one of those words that people gravitate towards. So the topic today,
it's a side hustle.
Yeah, notary side hustle showdown. Which path makes the most money in 2025? So we have some slides here. Created some slides for the family. You know what I mean? I felt Beyonce-ish, getting the cowgirl tech.
Yeah, if you're listening to this on your iPod or you're driving or something, and you definitely want to come back and watch this. This is great.
Yeah. Great. Hold on. Let me check on the fam on IG, by the way. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We need the visual.
Yeah. IG, I got something special for you guys. So read the comment in the chat. And if you guys send this comment on the IG chat, you guys will actually get a gift.
What kind of gift?
It's a surprise gift, bro. It's a surprise.
Yeah, well, why you
love a surprise?
Just another word about the side hustle. While you're kind of getting that up there,
yeah,
the word side hustle is prominent nowadays, especially since the pandemic. The notary industry. Notice I did not say the notary business. All right, the notary industry.
What's the difference, by the way, when you say that?
The industry is what we are involved in. We are all a part of you can call it the legal industry, just like there's a medical industry, there's a hospitality industry, transportation industry. There's there's every industry. The industry itself is just the area that we decide to moving. The notary business, however, like the transportation business, the hospitality business, you know, that's different. The business, in terms of what the notaries do, is the back and forth exchange of clients, traffic, documents, and circulation of money. So we create a product or a service in this case, and then there's people who need it. Those are the clients, or those are the potential clients. And, you know, families, law offices, nursing homes, agencies, whatever. They transact with us. So we exchange currencies. We exchange, you know, money back and forth. That's the business. That's not the same thing as the notary industry. People get into this industry and they are conducting what they think is business. It's not. It's actually the fulfillment, or the, like you like to say, fulfillment, which I think is a perfect word for it. But they are participating in the not necessarily like the growth and the expansion of the business. They're just fulfilling one role. They're just carrying out the duty, the technical role of signing the document. They're just stamping the document. They're not actually, you know. And yeah, this does sound bad, but this is so important, because if you confuse these two, you'll kind of erroneously refer to what you're doing as business, and what you're doing is actually not business. You're just the fulfillment aspect. You're just carrying out the tasks, the duties and responsibilities of a title company or of a signing service. They're conducting business. They're the ones who are enjoying the growth and pushing the borders and the expansion of the actual industry itself. And they're the ones finding the clients and you know, creating new boundaries, setting new standards. If you're just in this, this sounds like I'm going to minimize the role of what a notary does. A notary is still important in that whole sequence of events. However, for a notary who's just doing the loan signing aspect of it, you're just the last part of that whole sequence of events. Title company gets a loan, you know, people buy the house, they're trying to finish out this mortgage loan, and then it needs to be signed. So you just participate in that last part. Versus, I know this is a long explanation as to what.
Nah, you're good, go, bro. Flow.
Yeah. Versus the sort of the stark contrast of that, of what a loan signing or a title or a notary signing agent would do. Somebody who's notary public, somebody who's actively participating in how are the advertisements of what a notary does. How is how are the educational standards are being fulfilled, and how are the businesses that are transacting with clients, how is that being like carried out? It's not this. It's completely different than what a notary public business owner who's hiring multiple notaries or meeting with different industries and seeing how their business fits into the transportation industry, fits into the beverage industry, fits into the self-defense industry, legal, versus somebody who's just taking the assignment and the task and then just signing the paper. We all participate in the industry, but not everybody participates in the actual business of it. And it's to me, it's important to make that distinction. And it's this will offend people, and that's fine with me because when I first came to this realization, this is what changed my course. I knew that I did not want to have a job in this industry. I knew it. So if I'm able to be fired because someone else is in control of what my activity, that means I'm 100% relying upon a title service. I'm 100% relying upon a signing company. How is that a business? I'm relying upon someone else hand delivering work to my front porch or dropping it in my lap. I can't do that. If in order to have a business, true definition of a business is just something that doesn't require you to be there. It operates in your absence. The business is just a step by step process that always has the same outcome. Somebody needs to get their car windows tinted. They can show up to a shop, get their car windows tinted. You don't necessarily have to be there. That's a business because you have an intake process, you have an inspection process, and then you have the fulfillment side. Notary, there's a saying that says all business is universal. That's why all these principles are true. So if you put yourself in another industry doing what you do, there's a question you have to ask yourself. If I put myself in the medical industry, in the medical business, and I was only doing one thing, do I have a business? The answer to me was no. And that's how I knew that I had to make a change. So
interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. So yeah, let's go into this notary side hustle showdown and run this money. So the first one, and this is going to be unique to the show because we're going to give you the people. Now, some of the people we know, some of them we do not know, but we know that they are leaders in the industry. Now, this show is not about Tech and I because Tech and I, we do what we do already. This is for people that are moving in this show that may be looking for some direction. Maybe they're looking for the top paying categories in the notary industry, and maybe they're a little bit undecisive of what's going on because this industry does have a cluster of different services that you can offer. So some of them, we list the top 5, I believe, and they're the instructor that we believe, well, at least I believe, are at the top of the game for you to get the highest quality training on that. Now, you could do your own vetting, but we just wanted to put that out there for you guys. So let's go to the first one. The first one is fingerprinting service by our main man, Andre C. Hatchett. So the earning potential of this, let me enlarge the screen. And let me break this page down for you guys. So at the bottom, you're going to see that there is a QR code. That QR code will take you directly to Andre C. Hatchett's fingerprinting course. Yes, I designed this for you guys, okay? So the earning potential for fingerprinting service is good. So you can see the meter there. The price ranges anywhere from $75 to $125 and up per client. The pros of this is that it's an easy upsell. You have frequent repeat customers, and you can, and there's times that you can bundle all the customers in one sitting, which is phenomenal. Like you can have 100 fingerprinting clients in that one setting because you'll be doing like, corporate situations. Then they need it for background checks and licensing. Now, the cons to that would be it requires specialized equipment and some training. So because it requires specialized equipment and training, of course, we put the QR code down there and you can find out without trying to bump your head against the wall and listening to some subpar coach on teaching you, get it from the real deal. Get it from the real deal, Holyfield, Andre C. Hatchett. Tech, you want to add anything to that? Might be taking care of baby Kimbo right now. But yeah, so action tip. That's right at the bottom. It says, combine your existing mobile notary services and then connect with your local companies needing regular employee background checks. Now, I know when I was driving the 18-wheelers, when I was driving the truck, every truck driver needed that. Every truck driver needed to get the fingerprint, especially if you were doing intermodal or you were doing, what's the other one? Hazardous material, hazmat. You had to get fingerprinted. Another good place is people that do caregiving facilities. All of those people have to get fingerprinted. So there is a large market for that. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. The next one is loan signings and refinancing. So this one, we recommend a gentleman by the name of Mark Wills. The earning potential is high. Okay. So the price that you can make per signing is $100 to $250 and up. The pros of that is that it's steady income, and then you have a very strong demand. The cons of that is it's sensitive to the real estate market fluctuations. That's a big one. That's why you can see the meter is more in the orange of that, because you are susceptible to the way the market is moving. And we have coaching clients. We've had members of Sabrina AI that have been affected by the fluctuation of real estate markets. When it's up, it's up. Oh, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to get a lot of phone calls. But when it's down, man, you have to realize when you start making a lot of money, your lifestyle starts changing, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, your lifestyle starts to change. And when your lifestyle starts changing like that, you start eating at better restaurants. You start maybe taking a couple more trips. You might even buy a better vehicle because the money is flowing. But when that market hits, it tanks. That lifestyle needs to get downsized. And there are people that we have coached and are on our program that had to go back to their day job because of that. So the best person I can think of when it comes to loan signings, because, and this is why it's so important that you specialize in something, right? Because it's like being top of mind. If I think of loan signings, a lot of you guys that have been in the industry for a long time, you guys will think of this guy right here. So he has specialized in it. He has created a very robust curriculum. You can scan the QR code. It'll take you to his course. And then I'm sure he probably has something that will prepare you for if there's a downsize and, a downturn in the market. So here's an action tip. Get certified with a reputable loan signing course. We would recommend Mark Will's course. And then network with realtors and loan officers directly. And that's in this course too. So check that out. The next one, number 3, that would be me. Yours truly, Tiger Toledo. Yo, sound the horn. Sound the blood clot horns. So that is I. Power of attorney. Earning potential is high. The price points, you can look anywhere from $200 and up per package. The pros of this is that it's in high demand, repeat business potential. And then here's one of the things that I love the most about it is emotionally significant. Power of attorneys is very emotional driven. Cons of this is that it's often urgent. So a lot of times when you're getting a call, they need expedited service. You can look at that as a bad thing. You can look at it as a good thing. It's up to you. It's your perception. I look at it as, do you want FedEx ground or do you want overnight? There's a price difference for that. Requiring availability and sensitivity. So that's very, very important. So you can scan that QR code right there. That will take you to my free Power of Attorney Masterclass. I repeat, scan that QR code. It will take you directly to my free Power of Attorney Masterclass. Absolutely free for you guys. For those that are looking to do Power of Attorneys, you would want to take this course for sure. For sure. I used to charge $297 for this course. It's yours for free. Action tip. You can establish partnerships with healthcare providers, senior care centers, and law firms. Offer expedited service, which I mentioned earlier, and differentiate yourself. Tech, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I like the meter. Definitely more one of the higher. The opportunity here is I think it goes deeper because the thing that I come across commonly is that people don't know what a power of attorney really is. They don't know what these documents really represent. And here's an easy way to know, because I'll ask the person, hey, do you have a power of attorney?
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask the notary, do you have a power of attorney on yourself, for your family, for your kids, for your wife, for your husband, on your family members? And then they'll, alarmingly, most likely they don't have it. So how could you really know the value of something? Well, I always say this to myself, if you really knew what it was, because most people say, yeah, I do know what a power of attorney is, but then I'll question them on it. Then you find out they really don't know. And I'll say, if you knew what it was, you would have one.
Mm-hmm.
If you really knew what it was, you would have it. And if for you to sell it or to solicit these products, you don't have them yourself, to me, that's what holds people back. They don't know really what it is. Therefore, they have a hard time establishing the value and then converting it, or at least being able to convey that value to a client, and other than the number. It's not the number. So what you get out of these courses and what you learn from your platform, especially, is aside from the marketing side of it, and we'll talk about that later. But this is, to me, understanding, going deeper as to what the real meaning of these documents are. It's not just loan signing and then general notary work. It doesn't exist. General notary work is not a real thing.
It really doesn't. It absolutely does not exist, ladies and gentlemen. No way.
It's a myth.
Every document has its own title, so you cannot generalize something that stands on its own.
That's the first way I'll know somebody has no clue what they're talking about when they say general notary work, especially if they consider themselves an educator, or they have these courses, or they are a mentor, or they are some type of trainer, or something like that, a coach or something like that, or they, an entertainer, content creator, and then they use the word general notary work. That's how I know this person, this probably isn't really worth much. This, because they're coming from a position that says this is general, or it's just the usual, it's just ordinary, and that couldn't be further from the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. So we have two more, but before we go into the other two, let's take a quick commercial break.
As a business owner, you're juggling a lot, and managing phone calls can quickly become overwhelming. That's where Sabrina, the AI voice automation that turns calls into clients, comes in. Imagine having a reliable 24/7 assistant that never misses a call, handles routine questions, schedules appointments, and directs important calls to the right people, all without needing a human touch. This frees up your team's time to focus on what really matters, saves you money, and ensures every customer gets a consistent, professional experience. It's like having an extra set of hands so you can focus on growing your business, not just managing calls. Scan the QR code to book your free demo today.
Estates and trust packages. So the instructor that we have for this one is Bill Soroka. Now, like I said, some of the people I know, some of the people I don't know, but I know people that are top of their game. So there are people that have been in our community and coaching programs that have taken Bill Soroka's course, and they swear by it. They swear by it. So therefore, because he has specialized in a particular category in the notary industry, we have selected, or I have selected, I'll keep tech out of it because I created the slides. So I selected Bill Soroka for this one. The earning potential for this is high. The price point is $250 and up per package. The pros of this is that there's a consistent need and referral friendly. The cons of this is that it has a very high touch, emotionally sensitive service because it's a trust. Now, I put trust and power of attorneys kind of in the same ranks because those are people that are, a lot of them are baby boomers that are retiring. And just to give you guys a quick stat on that, there are 10,000 baby boomers retiring every single day, and that is supposed to continue until 2030. So there, we call this the perfect storm, the tsunami of wealth transfer right now. So there's going to be a lot of power of attorneys being executed, a lot of estate and trust documents being executed. Highly recommend you guys look into these things. There's a QR code right at the bottom. It'll take you to Bill Soroka's page, and you can look at his course. And again, we ask you guys to vet them out. But as far as a person that has specialized in this particular category, he's at the top of the list. He's offering some world-class service for this. Now, the action tip is build relationships with estate planning attorneys and senior care facilities, and then offer compassionate, specialized service to differentiate yourself. Tech, you want to add anything to that?
In the height of the loan signing craze and the refinance wave of 2020, 2021, there was a overwhelming number of notaries who entered the industry and solely focused on loan closing. Bill Soroka was one of those people, a lot like the overwhelming majority of people who kind of sit in that frequency, people who coach and people who are considered themselves to be amongst the industry leaders. And there's no doubt that the services that they offer and the information is valuable and that people enjoy it. People will walk away with a lot of information, and whether that information translates to success is not solely dependent on the coaches. So
Ooh,
let's
that's a fantastic point, bro. Go ahead.
yeah,
Keep going.
it's no question that the industry for what it is very straightforward but it's highly individualized. If you decide, and it doesn't really, I think it's a lot like what Andre Hatchett suggests, is that it doesn't matter what city or state you live in. Your city, yeah, there is some caveats to that. There are some exceptions to that, but what you do, you yourself, what you put into it will essentially get what you get out of it, what you put into it. So in this particular arena, and when people were just doing loan signing, like everybody, I'm not saying like majority, I'm saying everybody, which is there was very few people who focus on the private documents. And I know we already got off of a couple of courses earlier, but when this transition away from the refinance started to sort of simmer down and people started to pivot, is what they call it. People started to loan signing started to dry up, and then it wasn't as lucrative as it once was. So here now we have this emergence of these other what people call these side hustles or these add-ons, and this in estate and trust documents was one of them. But here's the truth: it was never a separate thing. It's all under the umbrella of notary. I think we can all agree that it doesn't matter if you focus on power of attorney, you focus on, like you say, you kind of lump it into the same category. And what people wanted to do was find out how they could get into this segment of the notary industry, right? They wanted to get into estate planning and trust and legacy planning and power of attorneys and things like that. And then they would call those general notary work, and which is kind of what we spoke about earlier. But as we all know, that's not true. These are not general notary documents.
No.
Nothing. Yeah, these are definitely not general notary documents.
Right, exactly. This would be considered a general notary document, according to some other categories in the notary industry, right? They would lump this up. They would lump up the power of attorneys. They would lump up, even affidavits, as simple as an affidavit. They would lump it up in a general notary category. You guys are doing specialty work, you guys. It's specialized notarizations that you're doing.
Absolutely.
Specialize. Don't generalize.
Now, specific to that sort of that realm of people who consider themselves to be on the industry thought leaders and things like that, there's a lot of people who have never heard of Bill Soroka. And I think that, and I'm saying not just notaries, individual notaries, but there are people who consider themselves to be, amongst these educator class or educator group of people, and they've probably never heard of him. And maybe vice versa. He's probably never heard of Bill Soroka's probably never heard of them. But I think there's no question that what Bill Soroka has done has definitely marketed himself as being out there. And I think a lot of information is very valid. Whether or not it translates into your individual success is not dependent upon him. We recognize that. Now, you have to ask yourself, though, if something doesn't work for you, who are you actually looking like? Could you look in the mirror first? Is it you?
Knowledge of self. Knowledge of self.
Is it them or is it you?
He'll talk that heat, Zach.
But at the same time, if something in that same vein, Tiger, if something doesn't work for you, then is it time for you to try something different? Maybe the message isn't being sent the way you're not interpreting the message like you would from another person. So I say that to say what Bill Soroka has done is commendable. The information, there's nothing invalid or wrong about it. But if what you've done to any course, any program, any training, and it didn't work for you, you might need a new lesson. You may just need a new lesson. Some people weren't good at math in high school. Some people were outstanding in math in high school. Is it because they're dumber or because they're smarter? I think a lot of times it is the teacher. It could be the person who's conveying the message. You do a great job of doing analogies. I wish I was better at that. So I always learn a lot from you, and and I know that I could teach on certain subjects, but I may not be the best in explaining certain subjects, certain topics, and things like that. But for this course, I think what's based upon what's out there right now, for people to say that they have not they haven't heard of what he's done and what kind of work that he's contributed to this industry. I think it would almost be untrue because he's just so out there. But at the same time, I know personally, like, of the 14 notaries or so that I work with in my own city, many people have never heard of a lot of people that we've discussed.
And here's the thing about that, Tech. You know me better than most of the notaries out here. I don't follow notaries at all.
Oh, yeah, great example. Yeah.
Right. So if somebody comes across my radar, that means they're putting in that work. If somebody gets recommended by the very small handful of notaries that I rock with, and their name comes up a lot, they're putting in that work in these streets. So his name came up a lot. Andre Hatchett name come up all the time. The Mark Wills name come up all the time when it comes to loan signing agents. These are people that come across my radar because I'm not in that ecosystem. I don't study the notary industry like that. And that's done purposely. Like, I purposely avoid the notary industry because of the way I process information.
Can you maybe just spend like a couple seconds of saying why don't you follow the notary industry, or what is it that you do follow, and how that helps with the notary industry?
I'm like Kanye West, bro. Kanye West on an interview. Hold on one second. Let me throw it back on here. Kanye West is on an interview said that he doesn't listen to other rap songs because it can influence the way he is doing the production of his own album. So if I start listening to a lot of the industry leaders out there, I know it's going to start affecting my individual thought and process of the way I see things going in the notary industry. So I stay away from it because I don't want it to, and it's not like it's bad information. I just choose to keep certain information away from me so I can have more control of my own individual thought, if that makes sense.
So what industries do you follow?
Marketing, sales, business, production. I listen Shonda Rhimes. You know, I'm looking to see how Starbucks is rolling out a new Frappuccino. Those are the industries that I indulge in. And then what I do is, because I'm so far into that industry, what I bring into the notary industry, for some people, it may look like it's groundbreaking, but these are tactics that these companies are using, and I just bring it into a business like the notary, who doesn't get the technology exposure that it needs. That's why Sabrina is doing so well, right? We noticed that there was a huge gap in the market of creating a streamlined service for notaries. So therefore, we acted on it. I see that there is huge marketing opportunities, huge upsell, cross sells, downsells, points in this industry that is being neglected or hasn't been exposed to. So I bring it to this industry. It's like the hunter that goes out and he hunts for food and then he brings it back to the group, to the family.
Yeah, that's an important point to make. If you stay within this industry, then you are limited. But when you start combining other industries, especially the tech industry, and then you start injecting the tech industry into the notary industry, that's what, again, another point why we don't say business. Those elements of hospitality industry or the automotive industry,
Mhm.
and then you bring those into the notary industry, then that's when we start combining automation. We start combining, talk about artificial intelligence. We start talking about business structure. We start talking about the finance industry. We started doing all these combinations within the notary industry. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I actually, that's a good point for people who just study and they just look at their notary primer over and over and over again. They take all these courses over and over and over again. Hey man, you ever consider going outside of the industry?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, for me, tech, marketing and sales permeates the universe. Like I can find it in anything, like literally anything. Anything that I look at, I can see marketing and sales in almost anything in my life. So I feel every time I walk outside, anytime I'm in the house, I can find inspiration in those things. And what I do when I see something that is like, wow, this thing convinced me to purchase something. Let me take that element, let me dissect it, find out the elements that are working, the key points, and then take it, and then I run back over to the notary industry and I throw it in there and be like, yo, this works. But of course, I try out a lot of the things first. I try it out first to see if it works in my own business. And then if it works, it got to work for other businesses as well. I think it was you that said it's universal principles.
Yeah, it's true across the board. Definitely, I've noticed after after being in the medical industry for so long and crossing over into this industry, I see a lot of similarities. So that's how I know that. And I've heard people talk about business principles being universal, and I think it's true.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go into the final one, right? Drum roll, please. And this is my girl here, Dawn Velez. Shout out to the Ghost Squad. She's out there in Florida. Apostille Services, earning potential very high. This is probably the only one that hit very high. And then
for some people,
I know
for some people,
yeah. But for Dawn, it's very high. And shout out to Cam Combs. They knew how to position Apostille Services. Some people out there do not know how to position this service, this international service, correctly, and they're getting peanuts. I'm just saying. That's why we put these QR codes so you can explore the world-class instructors that have mastered this game. So shout out to Dawn Velez. Apostille Service, earning potential very high. The price ranges anywhere from $500 to $1,000 and up per service. Pros, premium rates, international clients. Cons, requires additional expertise and connections. So the action tip is become an expert on international document requirements. Market directly to universities, corporations, and immigration law firms. Scan that QR code. It will take you to Dawn Velez site, and then you can check out her program. Now, Tech, I know you have some feelings about apostille services being in the notary, being considered something in the notary industry. You want to speak on it?
Yeah, I mean, Apostle Services directly isn't notary, not necessarily. It's different, but at the same time, it's very close to it. But let's be clear. Again, when I ask somebody, "Hey, do you have a trust? Do you actually have an estate plan for your family? Do you actually have a power of attorney?" And then they tell me no, especially for a notary. Shame on you. Shame on you. For you to price an apostille to authenticate something incredibly valuable as this for $100 is a shame. Now, I'm not one to tell you what to do. You can do whatever you want to do because this is an individual business. But for you to be amongst that class of that educator class or that trainer class, and then as if this is information that is going to help people run the business by doing something that's valuable as this for $100, to me, shame on you. I have a couple who's from India and they want to retire their parents. They've worked here in the United States for 20 years and now they want to establish residency back in India, their home country, and they also need to purchase property. But before they do that, they need to open up a bank account. In order for them to open up a bank account, India has some of the most strictest laws when it comes to apostle services. They're highly scrutinized. They need to demonstrate that they actually establish residency here in America, and then also they have to reveal the value of their bank accounts. So they need to get these documents from the bank here and then have those documents authenticated and then forwarded over back to India. And then you want to do that for $90 for $125. You know how important that is to that family? You know how crucial that is that doesn't get messed up? And then for you to say, I'm going to teach this skill, this high paying skill for $100. See, the way that is done by, the very experienced Don Velez is, people will look at this and they won't believe it. And then they'll say that she's doing something not correct. And it goes the same with the other people that we've profiled. How are they able to, first of all, if you're notary, you're probably thinking, how can I compete with this, right? Well, you don't necessarily compete with it. You learn from it. You take this information and then you learn from it and then you apply it to yourself. But they're offering, unquestionably works. Unquestionably it helps. But how you absorb this information and how you apply it, or whether you even believe that it can be done, because you live in a city, whatever limiting belief that you have on yourself, because you live in a certain state or wherever you live, or because you don't have the personality that they have, that's all limiting stuff. It's all imaginary. Understanding what you're doing on what is an apostle document, what is an estate plan, what is a trust, what is a loan signing, what is the notary business, that starts with only you. And to me, I think that what the people who we profiled here, they all have their own unique contributions to this industry. And but for the business side of it, for the act of obtaining your own clients, that process of you accepting a phone call, you sending an email, for you sending reminders, you sending courtesy updates, for you sending receipts, for you communicating with the client about the status of their important documents, for you using these marketing skills, of you implementing a marketing strategy like Google Ads. That's all hyper individualized, and that's only dependent upon you. Their services, what they offer, is just one part of it. I think what you bring to it and how you inject your own personality into it is really what makes this skyrocket. Really, what makes it different.
Damn, Tech, you spitting some fire today, man. What you had some drinks or some shit, man? What's good? Huh?
You know what? I'm really upset. That's what it is. I just know that.
What are you upset about, brother?
What you mad about, man? Tell them what you mad.
Yeah, what you mad about, man?
For too long, people have been in this industry lying. People lie.
Do tell.
Man, people lie. That's why they have notaries. Why do you think if you're a notary and you're watching this or you're listening to this, let me ask you a question. What is a notary? Ask yourself that question. What is a notary? You have a commission, you passed the test, you sat in the exam room, you went to background check, but do you even know what a notary really is? A notary, somebody who deters fraud. No, that's not. Yes, that's what a notary is, but that's not what a notary is. For too long, people have been doing these exposés on how they can help notaries, but what they're doing is hurting them. I think far too long, the message has been confused. People telling them, you need to get into this business. You need to get into this business. And they're not sharing what it is that this business really is. For a notary, you are there to do one thing. That's to prove that this person is the person who signed it. That's it. That's all it is. Now, for the business, here's where we separate the people who just execute this as technicians versus people who operate this not as side hustles, but people who operate this as business. And this, to me, this is what separates this group of people who offer these services. When you approach this industry and you employ like these skills that are more business skills, now you're going out to the public, you're going out to families and business owners and lawyers and things like that. And now what you're doing is you're not only just authenticating their signature, proving their identity. Now you're actually solving an essential problem that they have. I'll give you an example. A real estate lawyer who we've worked with for about maybe 2 years now, they don't care about the price. This is what we talk about. They don't care about the price. They just know that in the moment when they close a case, or they're about to, that the problem we solve for them is that in the moment they're getting ready to close a case, the lawyer, the actual attorney, doesn't have to get on the phone and look on Google and try to track down some basement side hustle, part-time, run-of-the-mill person who got their commission 22 years ago but barely use it here and there, maybe with the families. They know that they can go to their legal assistant and tell them, can you have a notary here by 10 a.m. tomorrow? You got some paperwork that we need to get closed. No problem. They have the solution. Our service is that bridge. So I approach the industry, and we approach the industry with that in mind. It's not about getting the highest price or getting the lowest price or being the fastest. We understand that this person is trying to get something done. And by the way, it costs. That level of convenience, that ease of getting it down from 7 clicks to just 1 click, and then you could just schedule an appointment. We understand that's the business. That's what people were looking for when they got to this industry. And if that's not what you're looking for, then maybe you should reconsider or think about how involved you want to be in this industry or how long you want to be in it. Because there is opportunity here. There's the opportunity for everybody. All these, you just profile, 5 different people? Everybody gives opportunity. Are you willing to put the work in? And are you willing to reflect on your own performance so that you can take advantage of all these opportunities and then give somebody who's looking for what you offer, give them a solution. People are out there looking for it right now.
Indeed. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, a Money Corner with Tekamaku. And then after that, we do have our latest, newest segment, which is called Pass or Trash. So before we get into that, let's finish up with these slides. And so the next thing is, here's the quick strategy for immediate results. Let me pull that up a little bit closer. So what we recommend, or what I recommend, is choose 1 to 2 niches based on the strengths. And this is very important. I should have bolded this part. And local demand. Every market is different. I'm here in Chicago, the beautiful city of Chicago, which was actually named number 2 most beautiful cities in the entire United States. Shout out to Chicago. It is a beautiful place. Tech, I can't wait for you to come down here for that Beyonce concert, brother. We're going to have some fun, bro. So choose the strength in your local market. Every market is different. What I would suggest is take a tab of the documents that are very relevant in your area. You may notice that power of attorneys are very in demand by the amount of phone calls that you're getting. So just have a nice little simple list, and then use a Roman numeral ones and cross out how many phone calls you're getting for that particular document. And then after the second month, about 60-90 days, you should have a really, really good foundation to know what is in high demand in your industry. Actually, after 30 days, you should really know. But if 60 days will really put the nail in the coffin on that one. The second thing we would say, deep dive into targeted training. So that's why we put the QR codes for you guys, so you can explore more of this training. Use online marketing and automation tools, i.e. Sabrina AI, to streamline your customer acquisition process. That's what she does. She takes phone calls and turns them into clients. Final verdict: with each path offers unique advantages. Apostille services, loan signings and refinance, and power of attorney documents stand out as a top earners for 2025. They combine high earning potential and strong, consistent demand. So we do recommend, we would like to send you a beautiful invite to explore Sabrina AI. If you're ready to turn your notary hustle into a thriving business, book a free private demo with Sabrina AI today and discover how automation can help maximize your earning potential and simplify your workflow. Tech, you want to add anything to that, brother?
No, that was well said. Well said.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Man, gun in each hand.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I know you've been waiting for the money corner. Tech, you ready for the money corner, brother?
Yeah, I am. So, guys,
right.
welcome back to another edition of the Money Corner. This one won't be long. This one is a message to people who say, man, all that sounds good and all. It sounds fine, but I need answers today. What am I going to do today? So I want to give you an answer, because we all about showing receipts here, and we're all about showing improving. We don't want to just leave you with some skills and some theories and things that may possibly maybe work 20, 30 years from now. What can you do today? So here's a question that you have to ask yourself, or here's a question that I'm answering or helping you to answer for yourself. If I'm poor right now, then what can I do? Now, I want to preface this by saying that there's no such thing as poor, right? There's no such thing as or defining poor by a number, or saying I'm rich by a number. That's first thing that you should do. Get rid of that. Just because you have $10 or you have $100 million doesn't mean you're poor. Doesn't mean you're rich. We talked about this in the last time we did this. You can earn a $1 million income on an annual basis and still be broke. You can earn $500,000 income and still be broke. We broke that down. If you don't remember that, go back and watch that episode. We talked about how 50% of anything you take in, whether it's $1,000 a month or $3,000 a month, 50% of whatever you bring in is going to immediately go to your expenses, gone. And then another 25% of that is going to go to any type of debt that you're servicing. So obviously, if you don't have any debt, then you don't have to service any debt. And that's the reason why people promote getting rid of debt. And then also the other 25% is going to go to the silent killer. And this being April is taxes. People don't account for how much they throw away in taxes. And maybe throw away is the wrong word. You have to use taxes. You have to contribute to it's listen, pay your taxes. You have to do it. You have to do it. Just if you don't account for what it is that you have to contribute to taxes, then that can be an instant wealth killer. So the question is, what is it? What do I have to? If I'm poor, what do I do? All right. So let's answer that question. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying also, this is going to be a topic that we're going to talk in the future, but I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek. The topic that we'll have in the future is going to be a topic where I talk about investing your way out of poverty. When I hear the word invest, I may think of something different than you. For most time, people who hear the word invest, they instantly think stock market. But that's not always the case. Just like the whole definition of being rich or the definition of being poor. Investing your way out of poverty. I want you to reframe what you think the word invest means. Invest means anything that we give our attention to, anything that we share our energy with. I am not a good cook. My wife cooks delicious meals, and she's very talented, very skilled at it. If I invested more of my time and more of my energy towards preparing gourmet meals and learning how to cook gourmet dishes, wouldn't I become a better cook? If I am not a great driver because I'm afraid of the dangerous roads, or I'm afraid of the crazy highways, I'm afraid of the potential injuries that it may cause. But if I invested more of my time towards safe handling of a motor vehicle, if I invested more of my energy into getting to know my vehicle so that I can control this 4,000 pound, 2-ton piece of machine, wouldn't I become a better driver? So when we talk about investing our way out of poverty, I want you to think about this. Where are you directing your energy and directing and guiding your time and your attention to? That's going to be a topic that we talk about in the future. And I'm going to go deep into the whole concept of investment and reframing your thoughts on what that definition of investment is. But for today, what am I going to do if I'm poor? Here's what I would do. And this is something that, because I pay attention to a lot of the financial information that is on YouTube and social media, I rarely hear, and this is why I chose this topic, is because I rarely hear people talk about this specific topic. I hear a lot of people talk about finances, and they talk about you should open up a Roth IRA. You should diversify your sources of savings. You should put money heavily into the stock market and into certificates of deposit, CDs. You should open up a high yield savings account. I hear whenever I hear somebody say should, or they use the word should, I'm always a little bit, my ears perk up. I should do something. Well, without knowing what that person's specific goals are, how would you know what should this person do? But one thing that I rarely hear people talk about is what can I do right now? What can I do today? So I want to answer that question for you. So I'm going to share a screen with you. And again, if you're watching this on replay, then leave a comment below and tell me what you plan to um, take away from this. If you're watching this, if you're not able to see this, then make sure you go back and watch this so that you can see the slides. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show this slide that talks about uh, if that talks about. I want to paint a scenario for you just before I'm sharing the screen now. But as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different categories of managing your cash flow, of managing your debt, creating an emergency fund, and proper protection, building wealth, and then lastly, how to preserve that wealth. If you were to walk out of your house tomorrow and get hit by a truck, what would happen to your family? Let's be less dramatic. If you were to walk out of your house and slip off the stairs and then just fracture your leg, what would happen to your family? If you woke up this morning and you couldn't feel your fingers and you couldn't work, what would happen to you and your family? Not everything has to be so dire and so dramatic and um, you know bloody and tragic. Some things just have to be a matter of my lifestyle is completely changed. About 3 weeks ago, a close friend of mine who was battling illness got her leg amputated. Me being in the medical industry for so long, I knew the devastating effects of losing a limb. What makes this case so unique is that be given my position in this industry and the information that I know and what I've learned from this individual, from this woman, given what I know and what I'm capable of doing and what I've learned from this person, I took these categories here and I worked backwards. I wanted to build a family legacy, preserve the wealth. I knew that if something were to happen to me, then my family was protected. If I got hit by a motorcycle or somebody decided to come into my workplace, a school, and shot it up, and then I was an unfortunate casualty of that incident, then my wife wouldn't have to remarry for money, or my kids wouldn't have to change schools. So everybody was protected. But let's just say I didn't die. Let's just say something dramatically happened to me, like I lost a limb, or I couldn't feel my left finger, so I couldn't work with my hands. As in this case, my friend who had an amputated leg, her lifestyle has forever changed. She needs round the clock care from either a family member or caretaker. Now you have doctor's appointments and medications that go along with that. You surely can't eat the same. Diet completely changes. Your energy expenditures change. Sleeping patterns, the way that your house is set up completely changes. You certainly can't. You can still earn income, but you definitely not the way that you were probably doing it before. Your complete lifestyle changes. So with all the information that I come across where people are just pushing, open up a Roth IRA, open up a high yield savings account. Here's what the first thing I would do. If again, answering the question, if I'm poor, what do I do right now? Here's the first thing I would do. I'm gonna stop sharing here. The first thing I would do is plug the holes. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Stop the bleeding. In the event something happened to you, your lifestyle changed. Not you don't even have to die. Just something affected your lifestyle. You want the protection that is going to keep you and your family, or if you don't have a family, then it's just you. But you keep you able to maintain your existing lifestyle. What happens to most people is that um, I didn't see this come. I didn't expect this to happen. And now all of a sudden, the stress and the overwhelming uh, pressure of having to answer all these questions is really what is, the reason why people pass away. Amongst other reasons, is because they're just tired. They're concerned. They're worried. They're stressed out, and they just give up. They just let go. They take their literal final breath. The protection that comes with having a insurance policy, a life insurance policy that plugs these holes is what allows people, in the event that something happens to them, that they can live on, that they can continue to maintain a lifestyle, that the families don't have to move, kids don't have to change schools, your wife doesn't have to marry for money, the husband doesn't have to go find another third or fourth or fifth job. They don't have to sell off all their cars. They don't have to. If I was poor in this moment, the first thing I would do is, and here's what happens when you purchase this protection, this life insurance, to these life events. Here's what happens. You create an estate. You are now, you go from poor to now being worth something. In the event you were no longer here, if you were to pass away, you were to transition away, an estate is created upon your transition. You are now valuable. You are now worth something. You may not think you're worth something, right? You may not consider yourself to be worth something, but you are. You really, truly are worth something. And sometimes it takes a talk like this to help you realize it. So my lesson today for the Money Corner is to protect yourself, protect your loved ones. In the event something happens to you, do you have a plan in place? In the event that you slip off the stairs because it's snowing outside, or it was unseasonably cold one day and then it rained, and all of a sudden a car decided to go through an intersection, you don't necessarily have to die, but your lifestyle's completely changed. Are you prepared for what happens the next day? I'll finish with this. My friend who got her leg amputated, I couldn't help but think, what's going to happen once she gets home? There's other complications that come with that. There's organ failure. And again, coming from the medical industry, I'm somebody who has decades in the medical industry, and I also am licensed by, say, California Department of Insurance to talk about these certain topics. So I'm not just anybody, but I'm thinking, and also being in the notary industry, right? We see these things. We interact with these families all the time. especially if you're in these nursing homes, these skilled nursing facilities. What happens 2 weeks after? That's what I want you to think about. If you think you're poor, which you're not, but if you think you're poor right now, what's going to happen 2 weeks later after that inciting event takes place, after that goes down? 3 months later down the road, how's the quality of your life going to be a year from now after that happens? These are the things that we have to think about today. These are the things that we have to think about right now. So here's what I want you to do. Here's the action step. You can leave a comment below if you're watching this video afterwards. And what we do is, I do look at the comments. I have no problem. I'll read the comments. If you actually leave a comment and you have a question, I'll personally answer it. But if you don't and you want to get in touch with us, then I want you to send an email to info at HeySabrina, HeySabrina.ai, and we'll make sure that it gets responded to in less than 24 hours. Not 2 days, not 2 weeks. We'll make sure it gets responded to less than 24 hours and help you make some decisions about you and your family. So that's all I have to add. That concludes today's Money Corner.
Engineer boy. Circle it.
It remind me of that song, what you just said. If you think you're pouring now, wait until 2 weeks, girl.
Remix.
If you think you are poor, wait until 2 weeks, girl. No, hey, look, this is why we have the Money Corner, Tech. This is why we had to roll out this segment, brother, because it's not enough that you're earning great money with this notary business, whether you're doing it part-time, full-time. We have people on here that are earning $30,000, close to $40,000 per month. But what do you do with that money when you get it? How are you keeping it? What kind of tax shelters do you have? These are conversations that go beyond the notary business. And I'm extremely grateful for the Money Corner and what you're bringing to the table for the people, bro. Because that's just heavy, man. We need that in our lives. So before we get into the next segment, the final segment of the day, the newest segment, you already know what it is, man. It's called Pass or Trash. Pass or Trash. But before we do that, let's take this quick commercial break.
As a part-time traveling notary with a full-time job, balancing everything can be tough, especially when you're getting calls at all hours. That's where Sabrina AI comes in. Think of Sabrina as your personal assistant who answers every call.
And let people know what Pass or Trash is, man.
Oh yeah. So Pass or Trash is where we take a hard look at notary websites and we decide if they're built to convert or if they're just taking up space. So we're gonna give you some tough love and we'll give you some tactical fixes for your site so you can stop using that money repellent. And then what we'll do is we'll decide if you make the cut. And then we'll see who gets trashed today, or if you just get the pass.
All right. Well, the stage is yours, brother. Do your thing.
Okay. All right. And now, don't worry if you get trashed, okay? Because Sabrina can always help you fix that. So don't sweat it. We'll teach you how to make that happen when you're ready for an upgrade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm just going to Google up. If there are people who are in the comments right now who want to they want to volunteer themselves, we'll take that. If you want, you have a website, you can go ahead and put that in comments. And or if you just want to leave, if you're watching this on replay, then you can leave a comment below, and then we'll do that for the next time we do Pass the Trash. So let me pull up my website and pull up my thing here. All right, you can see my screen. So I'm just Tiger. How about you? Let's do the honors, man. You want to throw out a city?
Yeah, man. Let's go for. We got so much love out there in Texas. Let's put Texas on the list for the first one.
All right. What city?
Let's go with Dallas.
All right, I'm gonna just type in notary in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's just go who shows up first. That way we're sure we're not biased. Okay, so let's go with Dallas Online and Mobile Notary. Never looked at this, all right? So we got
this off the fly.
All right. So first, let's have a look. Tiger, what do you think? First impressions. I see a chat bot here on the right-hand side.
Okay.
It says, but I don't know if this is English or not. It says zero hassle, customer friendly. I'm clicking on it. I can't. It doesn't seem like there's anything there, but there is a contact button that opens up and says tech support, which looks like what's that? Maybe. I click it, and then it says they want to open up an application. Maybe you can see that on my screen. Maybe you can't. This is pretty cool. It says request service right here on the bottom right-hand corner.
Okay.
So let's click it. Let's find out. Request service. So it asks me.
Nice.
Not bad, right? It says what's
Not
your
bad.
name? Asks for my phone number. And then it asks if you want a mobile notary, online notary. Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll go through the rest of the site, but we'll start here. All right, my name is Tech, and my phone number 3456789. And then I want a mobile notary. They also offer online. Also offer apostille and document translation. Let's say mobile notary. All right. Says what type of document do you notarize? Interesting question. This is a question that I like to avoid. But nevertheless, let's say we have a small estate affidavit. And the reason why you want to avoid this is because they might say something like, I don't know. Or they may have a long explanation. Right? They say, here is the scenario. Right? They say something like that. All right. We'll say small estate affidavit. And then we'll say 75212. 615. It says here submit. Oh, look at this. It says we'll send you a text shortly. Now, that may seem really cool to some people, but here's what I see. If I need a notary right now, which is 100% of people, I need a notary right now. That's why I'm at your website. When are they going to call me back? When they say we're going to send you a text shortly. That could be tomorrow. That could be an hour from now.
That's true.
So there's an issue there. I would see it. But nonetheless, I think that's what they have installed there is pretty cool. What do you think?
Did you receive a text? Or you put a different number?
I didn't put my number in there.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a big.
So how would they reach out to you? Via email or something?
No, it said text message.
Oh, it said text? Okay.
It said we will text you shortly. But points for the immediate engagement.
Nice.
All right, top notary provider. Top notary provider. It's just a headline. If I'm looking for a notary, it doesn't really matter to me. Crafting. This is just wasted space right here. Crafting notarial solution for a life journey with professional expertise. It's just copy right here. What I care about, and here's a big oversized photo. It says get started here. I'm gonna close this little chat bot thing. right off the top, it's just, big pictures, and it tells, there's some links here. It says request service. I'm going to request service. I'm going to just click here. That's why I'm here. And it immediately takes me to, all right, it looks like a similar setup where it asks me for my name, text my quote to. It says text my quote.
Okay. Is a drop-down menu?
Yeah.
What kind of services they have on there?
Mobile notary, online notary, apostille, document translation. So it looks good. I mean, this is something that can immediately engages the client. And let's see for apostille, how many apostles are needed? See, these are always interesting questions because I may not actually have the answer. And this is, and these, and then it tells me we'll send you a text shortly.
Let me ask you a question. Do you see a phone number up there anywhere for them to just call? Like, there are some customers, they don't want to go through all that, right? They just want to call. Is there a way that they capture the phone call?
I hope you guys, if you're listening to this, I hope you guys just heard that question. The question was, do you see a phone number? And the answer is no, I don't see a phone number.
No. Wow.
Denied.
Why is that important? Because I'm going through this. I'm trying to request a service. I just went through two things. I went through the chat bot and I also clicked on request a service. And then it asked me a question that I may or may not have the answer to. How many apostles do you need? Let's look at the online notary. What type of notary do you need? I'll say an affidavit. What if I have a question about that? And this is what's going to happen. And this is probably what happens in your case. People go to your website and then they have a question. Now, I scrolled all the way down to the bottom and there's a phone number there. But I'm looking at a bunch of different animated graphics.
This is fun, man. I'm enjoying this right here. This Pass the Trash. I'm liking this.
So far, I was high on this website at first. It's looking like it's trash day.
Ooh.
It's starting to look like trash day, man. All right, we got the
okay. So my opinion on that so far, as we know in the notary industry, a lot of times the primary source of contact is a phone number. They want to call immediately. So what I tend to do and what I love is when people put their phone number immediately on top. That is the top banner, top head bar. I want you to call. If you're even thinking about calling, I want to give you that option to call me because, Tech, you and I both know that this game is about speed, right? So the opt-in is a great feature, but while I'm waiting for this text or I'm waiting for the response, there is precious time that is being, allotted for somebody else to just come in and swoop that customer up. Money loves speed. So if I'm waiting on a text, guess what I'm going to do? All right, while I'm waiting on this company to send me a text or respond to me, I'm going to look at another company.
Exactly.
And what was that Salesforce statistics that you said?
35 to 50% of businesses that respond first end up getting the business.
Target neutralized.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got some more dead links here. I'm clicking here, and nothing here. I click on translation, it takes me back to the top. I click on apostille, it just takes me back to the top. So this website is incomplete. Like
So
I
what's the
said, I was
verdict,
high
bro?
on it. So let's give it a grade first.
Okay.
A grade is through A through F. I would give A in a lot of
Aesthetic.
yeah,
Are you
aesthetic
talking
looks
about
good.
aesthetics?
Yeah, just the way it looks.
Okay.
Good website, good looking website. But in terms of performance, I'm going to say a big C minus for performance, and then for conversions, for actual functionality, I'm going to give it an F. The reason why I'm going to give it an F is because the website only has one purpose, and that's to do what? Book the appointment, and it didn't book the appointment.
Mm.
So that means that website is designed to lose business. So we have to trash it today. Today's trash day. In my neighborhood, it's trash day.
Boop, boop, boop. That's the trash can backing up to take out the trash.
Yeah, shout out to all the waste management people out there. Now, we don't do this to embarrass anybody or disparage
No,
them in any way.
definitely not.
That's not the goal here. The goal, the goal is very simple. If your site's looking like trash, it's okay. It can be optimized. It can be improved. If there's no payment gateway, if there's no automated calendar, if there's no way to close a deal, then you need an upgrade. So we can make that happen, and that's what Sabrina does.
Speaking of my beautiful Sabrina, let's bring her up to the stage real quick.
Looking good today.
You guys need Sabrina in your life, man. You need Sabrina in your life. We invite you guys to get a private demo with Sabrina. You can scan the QR code. With Sabrina, you will be able to capture phone calls. You could get 10 phone calls, 20 phone calls, 100 phone calls. Heck, just 2 phone calls coming in at the same time. You want to be able to capture those phone calls. And Sabrina can do that. Another thing is smart scheduling. She will streamline your service after that phone call gets handled. Sabrina will attempt to close the deal. That's what she's designed to do. Turn phone calls into clients. So once they make their payment, which you get paid up front, which is a beautiful thing, you get paid up front, and Sabrina will take that order and put it into your schedule. And then you get this, and you can, what I would suggest, Tech, is that the notary change the chime that comes in. I would change the chime to go cha-ching, that an order just came through to book a notary appointment through your smart scheduling. There's an agency mode. We'd love to give you a demo on that so you know what the agency mode is. You'll also get a business phone number. And then most importantly, automated follow-up. Crucial, because communication in this business is vital. Like I said, when we did those slides earlier, top of mind. The reason why a lot of those instructors are top of mind is because they have excellent communication follow-up skills. You're going to receive emails from them weekly or monthly or sometimes even daily. They stay at top of mind with you. With email marketing, whether they're doing posts on social media every single day, multiple times a day, the communication channel is vital. That goes for any business. So we invite you to book a private demo so we can show you what Sabrina can do for your business. Let me pull up the book your demo. QR code here. Right there. Scan that QR code with your phone. It will take you directly to the Sabrina AI website. Then you can schedule a demo that works. Select a date and time that works best for you. You'll be surprised what she can do for your business. Tech, you want to add anything?
Grow your skills to become better in business. Just grow your skills. And this is one way to do it.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another episode of Notary Insights. Next week, we are having a special guest. Her name is Jessica Clairville, Jessica C. She does a Ron. She's also a Sabrina AI user. It's going to be fascinating how she approaches Ron, and she is not on the digital plantation. You heard? She is not on the digital plantation. She's not getting these $5 wages from Proof. She has found a workaround, and she's making a very decent living doing it. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, keep clapping. You heard?